Bam! The late adopter. Hi guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel, to a new video. Right now we're doing VeChain, up by 1.80% right now. It's outperforming Bitcoin, so that's something. So what we're gonna do is this wedge thing that I'm talking about on all my altcoins I'm doing it right now, because I think there's a wedge forming on everything, and we're gonna see what kind of wedge, what kind of formation we have on VeChain and what we can conclude from that. That's let's get into the charts, because I think this is very interesting, and see what we can get out of this. So everybody knows the resistance line. It's pretty simplistic. It's maybe something like this, maybe something like this. I think this one is at least the first one that should be looked to be broken. So this is a resistance line, and then we have some kind of a bottom line here that's acting as a wedge. But how this is going to be drawn, the way I see it, there are three ways to be drawn this wedge. First of all, first one is very obvious. It goes from these stops over here to these stops and hits these wicks down here. That might be the case. It's a small falling wedge, but not quite there yet. Then you have, of course, the bottom here to the bottom, the other bottom. This also might be indicating falling wedge. But the problem here is that this is engulfing bullish candle and should negate this. But so I would rather use these wicks on the sides than actually the bottom down here, and that gives us the third option that goes between these two wicks on the sides and goes through the middle, and I'm seeing the third option actually to be most viable right now. I mean, this one down also can be, and this all of three options can be actually used right now. This is some kind of spawn definitely, but will it actually hold or not depends. But this wedge, I think, is actually best. Like, I got most faith in this small wedge over here. How do we want to look at it? So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it's the big one as well. Maybe. So we're gonna just leave up all the lines and just talk a little bit about how this is gonna play out. So basically, wedges. Falling wedges have a big probability to break on the upside. We've seen today this on Cardano. We also checked on Bitcoin. There is a certain wedge forming. So these wedges are actually very bullish, and they do for break on the upside. Now, problem here is only that this wedge is very long, the bottom line, so we can actually drop very severe down. But I don't think that's gonna happen. And what I'm expecting right now is some kind of pullback down, like last bit of like. What do you call it? Spring, like you go down, spring up, and then continue going up. That's what I'm expecting. Whether that's gonna happen or not, that's just an assumption, but that's what I'm expecting. So we are getting into this finishing moves right over here, and we can see that the moving averages on the 4-hourly chart at least are right above us. Let's see, 50 is way up there. The 10 and the 20 are following this line. So if we are going to be bullish, we have to break all of this, at least above 0.19, and then continue going up. That said, we are also getting resist by 100 moving averages, 50, and 200 moving averages is all the way down here. Now, these 200 moving averages can actually support this bigger wedge that we are going, because right now this 200 moving average, we slowly move into the wedge, and then if you start dropping down, it might actually find support on the wedge and then continue going up. That said, I won't say that it's unlikely, but I feel that these two lines, support lines, have more probability to happen than the other one, because I don't think that Bitcoin is gonna drop that much. I mean, it can drop that much, because if Bitcoin drop like 5%, it's gonna drop 20%, and like, how much is this drop? Yeah, it's like 20%. So it might happen. I might have be correct on the bigger wedge, but you know, we're just gonna leave it there. We're just gonna leave it there and say we are correct on the bigger wedge as well. So one of these is gonna hold. Which one is this? It's kind of difficult to say. But right now we are on the 4-hourly. We are below all the moving averages. Not all. Beside 200, we are below the fast moving averages, and right now on the daily we are actually holding the 20 moving average. Whether the 20 is going to be broken or not depends, but preferably we want to be we want to close above 0.177, because that will keep us above the 20 moving average on the daily. And let's see the weekly chart pretty quick. We don't have anything on the weekly chart that can actually indicate that where we should close. Let me just see this for a second. Yeah, so this is the 0.1 line, that's the 10 moving average on the weekly chart, so that can also give us support if we are supposed to go down, but they're just pretty low, That's all the way down here, so I don't think we're gonna get to those levels right now. I mean, and anything can happen. I'm not saying like anything can happen, especially if the drop is very big. Anything can happen. But right now we got supports on these two lines over here. That said, let's look a little bit on technicals. What's happening with technicals on the daily, the RSI? Let's pop all the technicals, because they are nice. We just got this bearish cross on the daily chart. It doesn't have to go for long, especially if Bitcoin starts going up, then this can also correct. Right now sitting at 53 on the daily. The most important ones that I'm actually looking for is this weekly. So I actually want the VeChain to close in red. You might guys not think that it's important, but it's very important, because we closed on this rubber band index, RSI index, previous week at 93. So if we want to move higher up, it's very important to close this around 60 numbers, like something like this, 69. So if that dump that I actually expect to happen short term, I don't know how big it's gonna be, but short term the small dump is gonna happen, this can actually pull the price, the RSI even a little bit more down. And if we can manage to close around 60-70 levels, that be 60 to 70 levels in this area down here, if you can close it in this area down here, that will be very bullish next week meaning tomorrow, for VeChain, because we are resetting levels during just 1 week. Usually a lot of coins use like 2, 3, 4 weeks. Cardano used 2 months to go through consolidation. So if you don't want to go through 2 months of consolidation, you're gonna be praying that we drop and reset this weekly RSI all the way down here, because that's gonna actually help you to move forward higher up. Also, we wanna get as close as we can to the 10 moving average down here. 10 moving average sitting around 1.0, previously 0.9. It's gonna be around here 0.12. So the closer we get to the 10 moving average, the better. This week actually helped a lot. Will this be enough or not? Depends to see. But right now, the things that we are watching for, and I don't know where I lost that. Let me see. The things we are watching for is this actually a wedge. Will we get rejected on the 4-hourly time frame by these moving averages and fall further down? Also on the 1-hourly, I'm looking if we start falling below the moving averages 10 and 20. If we start falling below the moving averages down here, then probability to go lower is high. And let's see what's have to happen on the daily, on 4-hourly. On 4-hourly we just have to get rejected, and if we see the rejection on the 4-hourly and the breaking on the day hourly on the moving averages, then probability gets to be a lot higher that we are actually going to test some kind of lower levels once more before actually Bitcoin figure out that this is a button. Because I've been doing Bitcoin video earlier today, and to me the short term, because that's 1 hourly and 4-hourly time frame, so that can change pretty quick. But short term it kind of looks kind of bearish, but I don't think, but also on the long term time frames, weekly, daily, Bitcoin looks like it's hitting some kind of bottom. So I don't think this can go last for another week or something like that. I'm pretty sure probability is high that we are gonna hit some kind of bottom pretty soon, and once that's in, like it's gonna be moon time. And already now you can see that a lot of coins are like plus 2, 3, 4%. Everything, almost everything is in green. A few are in red, but people are expecting this bullishness, because a lot it's only the Bitcoin that's holding us back. So the best thing you can hope for now is that we get the reddest candle you can get today, because that's gonna help us a long way to continue move up, right? Because you don't want to close up here or something like that and then continue going like sideways until this 10 moving average catches up to us, because you're gonna have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks sideways movements, and then that's just boring. You don't want to look at other coins doing 20% plus when you're going sideways. That said, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more VeChain updates, Bitcoin updates, any kind of updates. We do a lot of altcoins, we do technical analysis in this channel. Check out the links below for Patreon. We also do like daily video there, like 30 altcoins every single day and stuff like that. Also join the Telegram chat. Check out all the links. There are a bunch of links down there. Bye bye, see you around.